Hey, Shalom. Hi, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakodash. All right, double honors to the elders and apostles of a great millstone, who are the true elders and apostles over all Israel. All right, in the GMS San Antonio camp, but back at it again. All right, just preaching the word and truth and sincerity. All right, unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which in today's terms would be deemed the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and today, man, I'm just gonna go through the spirit, man. Out here alone today. Don't have a lot of space, so I'm probably not gonna be out here long. Hey, but call Lord Yahweh Shem Shah for this truth, man. All right, because right now, what's going on, man? In America right now, you have all hell breaking loose, man. All right, people are catching COVID like crazy, and I was just watching one of the brothers' videos from or one of the camp videos from Dallas today that the brother Sha'ar and I believe the brother Kawan was out there doing. All right, I didn't get to finish it, but I got most of it, and they were pretty much going into how this pandemic, or the so-called this pandemic, which is known as COVID-19, all right, is nothing compared to the pandemics that are about to be unleashed upon this place, man. All right, the only ones that are going to be saved out of it, all right, are going to be the elect, the 144,000 men of Israel, and the 1/3 men, women, and children of Israel as well, man. All right, the ones who fervently believe on Yahweh Shema Shai and truly call upon His name, man. All right, because right now you have all these false camps out there. All right, and that includes you pastors, for you Christians, man, you Catholics, and so on and so forth, man. All these religions, which whenever you get into the word religion, it goes back to, I believe it's the Greek word religios, which means to bind or to hold back, man. All right, and our people are falling for it every day. All right, but that's why we need Yahweh Shai to come back and save us, man, because this place ain't it. All right, in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of hell, all hell breaking loose, even across the whole world, man, the whole planet, all right, all hell is breaking loose, and these people are getting ready to celebrate Christmas, man. All right, and this place hasn't done nothing for you but destroy you, man. All right. Therefore, we need salvation, man. Yeah, what's gonna come first? Damnation and judgment unto you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, because you don't like to hearken unto Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it off with this, man. This is gonna be the book of Jeremiah, chapter 32 and verse 20, and it reads, which has set sign and wonders in the land of Egypt, even unto this day, and in Israel, and among other men, and has made thee a name as it is this day, and has brought forth thy people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs and with wonders, and with the strong hand, and with the stretched out arm, and with great terror. That's right. Whenever Yahweh saved us from the hand of Egypt, He did it with a mighty arm, man. All right, He sent plagues upon that place. He pretty much brought judgment and death upon that place, to where the Egyptians had to let us go, man. All right. So it says, verse 22, and has given them this land which thou didst swear to their fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, and they came in and possessed it, but they obeyed not thy voice, neither walked in thy law. They have done nothing of all that thou commandest them to do. Therefore thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them. That's right. So because our people are not following after the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah, the ways of life, the Lord has caused all this evil, this judgment to come upon them, man. All right, and it's starting in small bickerish ways, man, should I say? Okay, because right now you have the Israelites, which a lot of all of Americans are losing jobs, but the ones it's impacting the most are your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All your small businesses are going out, man. All that money you were making is now falling through. Okay, you're in debt. You're homeless. You're having to create OnlyFans accounts and all these accounts to get money. Right, and now you're having to dwell even more, or delve deep, even more deep into fallenness. All right, in order to be able to sustain a life here, man. All right, and if you're unable to do that, what happens, man? You lost your job, now you're losing your house, your car. All right, all this judgment is being brought upon you, man. Your family members are being taken away by this pandemic, which is COVID, which initially wasn't supposed to be that deadly, man. All right, and it's because you didn't hearken unto the voice of your fathers, man. All right, unto the voice of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, so continuing it says, verse 24, behold, the mounts, they are common unto the city to take it, and the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans that fight against it, because of the sword and of the famine and of the pestilence. And what thou hast spoken is come to pass, and behold, thou seest it. Right? That's right. Our people were taken and taken captives by these Chaldeans, which you can also deem as Edomites, man. Which they are. They're either Edomites. All right, there, and you see, and our people are under this place. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you have no freedom here, man. You have the liberty to serve Esau at McDonald's or serve Esau at Burger King, man. All right, and it's because our people have not hearkened unto Yahweh Shemel Shah. All right, because our people have been going off and been committing all sorts of acts of folly. All right, the Lord has been punishing us, man. All right, and the only ones who are going to come back and repent unto Yahweh Shemel Shah, we know, are going to be the elect men of Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. The 144,000 once again, man. All right, and it's going to be a beautiful thing when that happens, because which it's already been happening. All right, we know that the Lord is going to bring salvation unto us, man. All right, we know that He's going to restore our nation. All right, because right now, what are our people are downtrodden, they're beaten up, they're called all sorts of bywords and proverbs, and they're constantly being looked down upon, man. All right, and we're at the lowest of our low, man. We're at the bottom of the barrel, man. All right, and no one's coming out here making peace treaties for you, man. No one's coming out here looking to save you, Israelites, man. No one's coming out here to build up your nation, man. All right, they haven't given you any armies. They haven't given you any type of resources to be able to go and build up your nation, man. Okay, matter of fact, they've been taken from you. All right, and now you're working 12-hour shift jobs. All right, to be able to try to support yourself. All right, and you can barely support yourself, nonetheless, a family, man. All right, and since they're putting you in these situations, you know, Israelites stay increased whenever they're put in some type of bondage or stress. All right, for lack of better terms, and now you have babies that you can't even afford to support. So now what they do, or what they did, is they took the woman out of they separated the man and the woman. They gave the woman power over the man, and now you have the man on child support. He could barely afford to pay for himself, nonetheless child support. And so because this man can't pay child support, now you have him going to jail or on the run. All right, now you have a bitter baby mama, all right, who's calling you a deadbeat. All right, now you have men who don't even want to deal, our men who don't want to deal with our women because our women are bitter towards them. All right, they're prideful. All right, and it's all due to you Israelites not serving Yahweh Shemel Shah to the best of your ability. All right, but coming here pretty soon is I can't speak today, Salakia, is the salvation, man. All right, so I want to go ahead and jump down to verse 36. This is Jeremiah 32 and verse 36, and it reads, "And now therefore, thus saith the Lord, the power of Israel, concerning this city, wherefore ye say, it shall be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries whither I have driven them in mine anger and in my fury and in great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely." That's right. Where salvation is being saved from your enemies. So the Lord is gonna bring us out of the countries and places that we were where we were scattered. All right, and He's gonna bring us salvation, man. All right, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing to see whenever that happens, man. All right, and you already see it happening, man. You see brothers all over the world waking up, preaching this truth. Okay, and the Lord is gonna bring us again to dwell safely. All right. Matter of fact, I want to go ahead and get this real quick. This is gonna be the book of Luke, chapter 1, and verse 68, and it reads, "Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for He hath visited and redeemed His people." All right, and it says, verse 69, "And hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of His servant David." That's right. So He had visited and redeemed His people and raised up an horn of salvation for His people, which is Yahushua. All right, and He had visited and redeemed His people. Okay, which are the Israelites once again, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. All right, the Lord visited and redeemed us. All right, and we see that happening, man. All right, all these prophecies coming to pass of destruction and judgment that is going to come upon this place. But at the same time, what's happening? He's gathering together His remnant, all right, to come and preach in His name to obtain His salvation, man. All right, So at the same time, you have judgment and destruction coming. You also have salvation and peace coming, man. All right, which is gonna come after, all right, the judgment and destruction. All right. So continuing it, all right, it says verse 70. All right, I'm gonna read verse 69 again. And he hath, and Luke 1:69, and hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, which once again is Yahushua. And it says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant. All right, that's right. So the Lord is said to perform his holy. I gotta read it again. It's like it says that we should be saved from our enemies and from from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant. That's right. He's gonna perform the mercies promised to our fathers, man. All right, which we were promised everlasting. We were promised everlasting life. All right, we were promised everlasting salvation, peace. Okay, and that's the mercies that he's gonna that's the salvation that he promised us, man, was being saved from our enemies. All right, so back in Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 37 or 38, Slakia, and it says, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power, and I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, and that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, and they shall not depart from me. That's right. So this covenant that he's speaking about is also spoken about where? In the book of Hebrews, man. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. But this is the covenant that's being promised, that he said that he was gonna that he promised to our fathers, man, that he's gonna perform coming in the days to come. All right. So from there, all right, as I stated, real quick, I'm gonna get this. It's gonna be the book of Hebrews. All right, looking for it. Slakia. Not passing. It's gonna be the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, and I'm gonna start at verse. I'm going to start at verse 6, and it reads, but now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. That's right, and this was promised beforehand, man. All right, this was all spoken about in the Old Testament. Okay, and it says, verse 7, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, with the house of Judah, which is the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right, and it says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith Yahweh. And that's right, we just read that in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 32, that even though we were brought out and promised a land flowing with milk and honey, which is pretty much resources, all right, for lack of a better term, all right, is resources, and even though we were promised that, our people went off, all right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, our people went off. All right, and now look where we're at, man. We're in American Babylon, in a place that was set specifically for our punishment. All right, serving Esau. All right, having to work dead-end jobs, not being able to make it out of here. And if you do make it out of the hood and the ghettos and the barrios and the favelas, all right, you're having to sell your soul to Esau, and that's what all these celebrities tell you, man. All right, so these celebrities are always putting it out there, man. All right, that they sold the soul in every song, or in every song that they sing, man. They're always talking about how they have to sell their soul, man. All right, because this place was not made, all right, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Our people we're not supposed to be here, but because we went off, now we're in this place that and it's for our punishment, man. All right, which once again, as I stated earlier, which is why we're at the bottom of the barrel, man. All right, so. But back to the point, because that first covenant was not, I guess you could say, foolproof, which Yahweh knew it was not foolproof, which is why he already had a second covenant. All right, because it was not foolproof, the Lord said he's gonna make a better promises upon better. He's gonna establish us upon better promises and upon a better covenant, man. All right. All right. So it says, continuing it, verse 9. Verse 10. It says, and this is the better covenant that we are going to receive, man. All right. So verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. That's right. So he will be to us a power, and we will be to him a people. We will be made holy and separate once again. All right, because right now our people are how do I put this? They're mixed in with a bunch of folly, man. Our people are mixed in with a bunch of wickedness. All right, they're committing adultery, idolatry. All right, they're murdering, robbing each other, man. All right, our people are going completely off. All right, therefore the Lord is going to have to save us and redeem us from this place. But first, what comes, man? That judgment. All right, which we can go ahead and get that real quick. I was reading it. I was reading it earlier today. This is Micah chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, but truly I am full of power by the Spirit of Yahweh, and of judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. That's right, because our people, Jacob being a nation, which his name was changed from Jacob to Israel, which in the Hebrew would be Yaquab, which means to supplant to Israel, which in the Hebrew once again would be Yasharallah, which means he, Prince of Power, or Son of God. All right, and it says, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin, which Israel being a full nation of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. All right, and it says, verse 9, hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. They build up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. That's right. So this is speaking about also you priests who are in charge of these churches, man. All right. And you prophets, you false prophets that lean upon the Lord and say that it's evil. I'll read it again. It says, yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. So you think because you're able to get away with leading our people as a flock to the slaughter, you think that no evil is going to come upon you. You think that the Lord is actually dealing with you, man. But all he's doing is allowing you to rack up your sins. That way he can pass judgment upon you righteously. All right. So continuing it, it says, verse 12, therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. That's right. So all your governments, your systems, and everything you use is going to become a plow. Zion is going to become a plow of the field, man. Now, what happens whenever you plow a field, man? You pretty much, you're cutting it down. You're making it ready, man. All right. And ready for what? Ready for judgment. All right, this place, our people are getting plowed down. All right. And it says, shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. All right. And it's going to be a beautiful thing whenever that judgment finally comes upon our people, man. All right, because our people are wicked right now, man. All right, and you see it, man. I was, like I said, going back to that video I was watching today, which there's plenty of videos you can watch of the prophets speaking. And niggas coming up and just being demons, man. But today I was watching it, and two demons came up, just egging each other on, man. You know, and that's what happens, man. Whenever the prophets come out to preach, all right, the demons come up, all right, and try to throw the prophets off their game, man. All right. But back in it, all right, back in Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 11, and it says, which leading back to the point, man. Is because our people have been going off and being wicked, the Lord has to give us a better covenant, man. All right. So it says, verse 11, Hebrews 8 and 11, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. So the Lord is going to blot out all of that, man. He's going to forget it. All right. He will remember our sins no more. All right, and that's a beautiful thing because our people are gonna be saved from enemies, which you can see is what we need, man. Is what our people needs. Okay, so it says, verse 13, in that he saith, a new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. All right, it's ready to vanish away, meaning this place is ready to be destroyed. All right, the harvest is ripe. All right, it's ready to be plucked, man. All right, this place is about to go down. What you know as America is about to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, man. All right, and it needs to be. All right, because you have wickedness at all time high, man. You have a bunch of women committing adultery. You have a bunch of men wanting to become women. You have Chinese walking around, homosexuals walking around, man. All right, you have all wickedness is being you have wickedness being praised, man. If you're not okay with homosexuality, you're not okay with Chinese, you're not okay with what they're trying to do, which they already passed a law, I believe it's in California. What they're trying to do is make pedophiles legal, man. All right. And so if you're not okay with all of that, you're seen as an outcast, man. You're seen as someone who doesn't vibe with this world, man, which is true. You're not someone who vibes with this world because this world is wicked, man. All right, so if you don't vibe with this world, man, and you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, man, seek the truth. All right, seek Yahweh Shem Shai, man, because obviously your spirit, all right, which ultimately, if you're not vibing with this world, and you are looking for something greater, eventually, if you're part of that number, the Lord will have you discover this. All right, but seek something seek things that are above, man. All right, seek things that, because this place is about to be destroyed. It's about to vanish away. All right, the old and the old wax is about to vanish away, man. This place is about to be burnt up. All right, because of its wickedness. All right, which matter of fact, we can get that in the book of Revelation, man. So this is going to be the book of Revelation, chapter 18, and I'm going to start at verse 1, because this place, once again, America, aka Babylon, all right, is about to be destroyed. And it's going to be a beautiful thing because this place has went and spread wickedness all over the world, man. And why? Because it's ruled by Esau, the so-called white man. The red Hebrew Edomite is being ruled, man. Now you have democracy, whenever you get into that word, demo meaning demon, krasi meaning rulership. So a demon-like rulership, is being spread out throughout the whole world, man. All right. Now you have in these other countries riots and protests going on, man. All right, and it's starting to go on here. All right, you got a question? Likewise, man. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. This is gonna be the book of Revelation 18 in chapter 18 verse 1, and it says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." That's right. So all these other nations that were in league with Esau over here in Babylon in America, they were waxed rich, man, through the doctrines, through the policies that he has placed upon this place, man. All right, by becoming a democracy. All right, and giving their people so-called power, but doing things behind closed doors. All right, that are completely and utterly wicked, man. All right. So it says, verse 4, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partaker of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." And that's right. So it says, "Come out of her, my people," not meaning buy a plane ticket, all right, and go and fly somewhere else like Europe or Spain or some other country, all right. But it means mentally, spiritually come out of her, man. All right, because being here mentally it's exhausting, man. All right, you have to wake up every day. All right, you have to go to work from 9 to 5, and then by the time you get off, you have to go and deal with other things, man. You have to pay bills. You have to pay to survive here, man. All right, this place was not meant for us to live, but this place is actually America is not really a country, but a company, man. All right, which if you look it up, man, this country is actually owned by the London Company, all right, which was I believe the London it was a 1601 if I'm not mistaken that they established it, man. All right, this place is still owned by the London Company, all right. So this place is not a country, but a company. All right. So it says, and be not partaker of her sins, man, because her sins are big. All right. She's allowing all America is allowing all sorts of folly throughout the country, man. All right. America is allowing all sorts of things to play into hand of her wickedness, man. All right. So it says, verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. That's right, her sins are so much that they reached unto heaven, man. The blasphemy of the Most High's name, all right, the Most High's people, all right, the laws passing of homosexual marriage, okay, of idolatry, of adultery, man, all right, of Chinese being able to walk around, man. There's what's that one man's name that went to a woman? I believe it's like I think her name is it's something. It's a Jenner, man. Her last name's Jenner. All right, they paved the way, all right, for Chinese to come out and be more at peace, man. They're putting these things on TV for your children, and for your children's children, man. That way they can grow up thinking that everything is okay, man. If you ask anyone of older age, man, if they're okay with their son or their daughter being a homosexual or a tranny, they're gonna say no, man. They actually beforehand, in times past, if a father or a mother found out that their child, all right, and this wasn't too long ago, man. This was like maybe 60, 80 years ago, man. All right, to where if you ask them if they were okay with their son or their daughter being homosexual, they would say no, that they would disown them, man. But if you say that in today's terms, all right, people get mad, they get offended. All right, these people have been they're pretty much gummy bears nowadays, man. All right, they're squishy. All right, they can't handle anything, man. All right. So it says, come out of her, for her sins have reached up to heaven, man. All right. So it says, verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. That's right, reward her even as she rewarded you, man. And how is she rewarding you, man? She's making you work 12-hour shifts, all right, putting you on child support, putting a woman over a man, okay, putting children over a man. All right, you can no longer run your the family structure here in America. It's completely destroyed, man. All right, I knew this one couple that wasn't from America, man. They were foreign, man, should I say? All right, and the woman would cook and clean and do all that for the man. All right, and it was people would look at that couple like, man, like you don't talk back to him. You don't do none of that. You don't pretty much you're under subject of him. And she was like, yeah, like that's my husband. He's over me, and that's how it's supposed to be. But Esau Edom had destroyed that, man, to where now the woman wants to be over the man. She wants to do everything, man. All right, she wants to be the provider, the protector. All right, she wants to be the delicate one. She wants to be the child as well, man. She wants to be everything. She wants to do everything by herself. That way she can be called a so-called independent woman, man. All right, which really she ain't independent because she's relying on the government to provide everything for her, man. All right, and then on top of that, she'll apply for child support to take money from the man out of bitterness. All right, so reward her even as she rewarded you. And what else did she reward you with, man? All right, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, what did this place do for you, man? Absolutely nothing. All right, put you in slavery, and I slave slavery, but really it was torture, man. All right, the buck breaking, derby's dose, all right, lynching, all of that, all that they did unto you. All right, it's gonna happen unto her, but in righteousness. All right, because the Lord is not dealing with this place. All right, this place is full of wickedness and needs to be destroyed. All right, with thermonuclear fire, and it's gonna be beautiful. But whenever people see it happen, all right, they're gonna be astonished. All right, and which we're gonna get into that as well. But it's gonna happen, man. All right. And for all of you who don't agree, it doesn't matter. All right, because the Lord is not a respecter of persons. Okay. He don't care how much money you have, how much resources you have. right? He don't care. He don't care how many people you saved, man. If you ain't with him, you're against him. All right. So it says, verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's right. This place, whenever the people people think that if there's another world war, all right, that America's gonna win. They think that if any war pops off, automatically America's gonna win. All right, which I mean, I understand why, because this place, I mean, first of all, it won both the two world wars, all right, through what? By dropping the A bomb, the hydrogen bomb, all right, which was only like, I believe it was, at that time, it was only 30% of their power that they had, man, because they had a lot more firepower, okay? But coming, the war that's coming, all right, which is World War III, because World War III, martial law, race wars, and the Civil War is all coming to American soil, man. All right, but World War III, they're gonna lose this war, man. All right, because this time the Lord is gonna be fighting in it to save who? His people, the elect, the 144,000 of the men of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right. It says, so continuing it, verse 8, which this place, I say that because this place really thinks that people think that this place is gonna continue forever, that even after this pandemic, all right, it's gonna go back to normal. No, all right, because what are they planning to do, man? They're planning to implement martial law. I mean, not martial law. These vaccines, onto these people, okay? And then what are they planning to do? Which they're already implementing martial law in certain places, man. Like I believe it was in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, in Chicago, the bridges are raised every night. I believe it's at 9 p.m. Okay, this place is going down, man. And if you can't see it, all right, you're thrust through. There's no hope for you. All right, so it says, verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judges her. That's right. America may be strong in terms of carnality, but the Lord is way stronger than that, man. Carnally and spiritually, man. The Lord controls all things. All right. And whenever this place is getting taken down, people are going to see it and be astonished, man. Like, really, like, this is the man we were afraid of, you know, which I'm going to go ahead and get that. It's going to be the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, and I want to jump straight to the point, and it reads, I'm going to start at verse 15. This is Isaiah 14 and 15. It says, yet shalt thou be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Man, people are going to be looking at America whenever it's destroyed, like, man, this is really the place that we were terrified of. This is really the place that we didn't want to make war with, because we thought we were going to be taken down. All right, people are going to, these other nations are going to be astonished, like, this is the man. All right, because all wisdom is being taken out of this place, man. All right, so it says, verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. That's right. And who are his prisoners, man? Like the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, till this day, we can't go anywhere, all right, without Esau trying to bring us back, man. There was this, it was a couple of years ago, man. There was this one guy who left the States, but he owed money, and Esau tracked him down to the country that he was in and brought him back, arrested him, and sent him to prison, man. All right. He was a so-called black man. All right, so you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this place is not for you, man. All right, it never was, and it never will be. And no matter how much Esau says we're equal, man, in their law, we're still considered 3/5 of a people, man. Right, or 3/5 of a person, should I say? All right. So it says, verse 18, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned, man. This place is never going to be built back up. It's going to be destroyed to the foundations thereof, man. All right. this place is never gonna be, it's never gonna be raised up again, all right, because of the wickedness, all right, and the people who rule it, which are the Edomites, the so-called white man, is gonna be destroyed right along with it, all right, because who is the one implementing all these things, man? All right, it's him. All right, he's the one who is going around spreading these diseases, man, spreading his doctrine of democracy, which once again I went into it. It was a demon-like rulership, all right. Because once they went around spreading this doctrine, all right, these other countries started failing, man. All right. So from there, man, I want to get this. This is gonna be the book. I'm jumping back in the book of Micah. All right. It's gonna be the book of Micah, chapter 2, and verse 1, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." That's right. This man is committing acts of folly and wickedness because he knows he can. Right? He knows that he has the power to do so. Right? This man has private islands, right, that he's taking little children to commit all sorts of acts of folly, man. All right, which we don't know exactly what those acts are, because it's all behind closed doors, man. The man that was exposed for it was killed. All right, the man that was arrested for it was killed in his prison cell, man. Said death by suicide. All right, but what everyone knows, it wasn't a death by suicide. All right. So it says, verse 2, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage." That's right, because this man went around, he not only oppressed you Israelites, man, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, but he went around to other countries.